Alright, folks, let's talk about Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation, the isekai anime where a 34-year-old loser gets a second shot at life, and it's way better than his first one. After dying in the most embarrassing way, getting hit by a truck, Rudeus wakes up in a new fantasy world. As a baby, now he's gotta navigate life with all his adult memories and a magic cheat code. Sounds wild, right? Let's dive in. So, instead of crying and pooping like most babies, Rudeus is out here flexing some crazy magic by age 2. He's already casting water spells while his parents are like, wow, we have a prodigy. Yeah, little do they know, this kid's a full-grown adult in a baby's body. Classic isekai hack. Enter Roxy Magurdia, Rudeus' magic teacher. Roxy thinks she's teaching a prodigy kid basic spells, but Rudeus is like, I already know that. I mean, this kid's basically a walking magic cheat code. But hey, Roxy's got her own thing going. She's got a crush on the baby who's actually a grown man. Awkward. Next up, we have Paul, Rudeus' dad, a swordsman who clearly can't juggle his love life and fatherhood. Seriously, he spends more time thinking about women than teaching his son how to be a proper warrior. Priorities, am I right? Still, Rudeus picks up the skills, and by 7, he's basically an adult swordsman. Talk about a baby prodigy. Rudeus doesn't just get strong, he also makes his first real friend, Sylphiette. She's a sweet, bullied green-haired girl, and Rudeus is like, I'm gonna protect you. They become inseparable, and surprise, surprise, Rudeus develops a crush. Of course, he thinks she's a guy for a while. Awkward bath scene explains the rest. Now, let's talk about Eris, Rudeus' future wife, or should I say punching bag. Eris is your typical tsundere, hot-headed, aggressive, and constantly punching Rudeus for no reason. She's literally out here like, I'll punch first and ask questions later. But somehow, and this is anime logic, Rudeus falls in love. And don't worry, she totally falls for him too, in a weird, tsundere way. Plot twist time. A magic explosion sends Rudeus and Eris to a new continent, Monsterland, with a new companion, Rudeus, a big blue-haired warrior. Together, they form the world's least intimidating adventure party, called Dead End. Seriously, who names their party that? But hey, at least they become an effective team and survive some wild adventures. So, the adventure continues, and Rudeus and his crew face epic challenges, fights, and of course, more waifus. But for now, let's just say Mushoku Tensei is an isekai done right with magic, growth, awkward moments, and yes, lots of punching. And we haven't even touched on the darker, deeper parts of the story. If you want to see what happens next, make sure to like, comment, and of course subscribe for more fun recaps. Who knows, maybe Rudeus will teach you a thing or two about being overpowered in your next life. With Eris' 10th birthday party approaching, Rudeus allows her dance teacher to take over part of his tutoring schedule to help her improve. At the same time, he makes use of his newfound free time to learn other languages. Despite that, Eris barely improves her dancing and considers giving up. But Rudeus encourages her to continue and starts helping with her lessons. As Rudeus makes some progress on his foreign language skills with Ghislaine and Roxy's help, Eris does not improve at all, and on the day of the party, she fails to dance with another noble. Rudeus steps in and successfully dances with Eris after instructing her to incorporate some of her fighting skills in her moves. After the party, Rudeus meets Eris' grandfather, Soros, who sees a strange ball of light in the sky and fears it could be an ominous sign. 2 years later, Eris and her family hold a birthday party for Rudeus, who is disappointed at first that his own family could not attend due to the increase of monster activity around the country. Rudeus is presented with a top-quality magic staff, and Philip expresses his will to have Rudeus marry Eris and become his successor, but Rudeus rejects the offer. Later that night, Rudeus is surprised to see Eris waiting in his room. He then attempts to have sex with her, but she pushes him away. Realizing his mistake, Rudeus apologizes to Eris, who forgives him. A few days later, a huge cloud of mana forms in the sky, and the legendary hero Perugius Dola sends his aide Aromanfi to investigate. Suspicious that Rudeus, who was practicing with his new staff alongside Eris and Ghislaine, could be involved with the cloud's appearance, Aromanfi attacks him. But Ghislaine defends Rudeus and confirms his innocence when a massive burst of light envelops them. Inside his dreams, and looking like his past self, Rudeus has a short encounter with an elusive being known as the human god, who instructs him to rely on and help the man who saved him. He then awakens in his current body and learns that he and Eris are stranded in the middle of the demon continent and were rescued by Ruigerd Superdaya, a member of the dreaded Supered race, who becomes their friend and promises to escort them home. Ruigerd brings Rudeus and Eris to the nearby Magurdia village, which is Roxy's birthplace. During their stay, Rudeus learns from Ruigerd that his tribe's ill repute comes from the cursed spears they received from the demon god Laplace, which turned them into mindless murderers, and that the spear in his possession belonged to his son, whose death by his hands made him recover his senses. Moved by Ruigerd's determination to clear his race's name, Rudeus decides to help him, and the trio departs from the village to begin their journey across the demon continent. Rudeus, Eris, and Ruigerd arrive at the city of Rikarisu. To have Ruigerd enter the city without trouble, Rudeus dyes his hair and has him pretend to be a member of the Magurdia tribe. The three become an official group of adventurers called Dead End, but their novice status prevents them from taking quests that pay well enough for them to make ends meet. By the human god's suggestion, Rudeus accepts a quest to look for a lost pet, which leads them to another group of adventurers who kidnap pets to get the bounty for finding them. After the kidnappers are defeated, Rudeus attempts to interrogate them, but is hit by one of them, which leads Ruigerd to kill him instantly. Rudeus reprimands Ruigerd for it and forbids him from killing again. Taking advantage of the kidnappers' higher rank, Rudeus coerces them into taking higher-ranking jobs for their own party while helping improve their reputation. After the mana surge in Fatoa, all of Paul's family members are missing except for Norn, and he asks for his contacts to make search parties to find them. Meanwhile, to accomplish a quest, Rudeus' party looks for a mysterious monster in the middle of a forest. They encounter two other parties also searching for the monster. One of the parties is ambushed by monsters, but Rudeus decides to wait, which ends with one of the adventurers being killed. The monster they are looking for attacks and kills the other party before Rudeus and Co slay it. Back in Rikarisu, Rudeus is approached by another adventurer, who discovers his scheme to take higher-ranked quests and attempts to blackmail him. Moved by Rudeus' resolve to protect Eris, Ruigerd drops his disguise, revealing himself as a Supered, and threatens to kill the adventurer should he reveal their secret. After leaving the city, Rudeus reconciles with Ruigerd. Rudeus keeps traveling with Eris and Ruigerd all the way to a coastal city on the edge of the demon continent, unaware that Roxy is also arriving at the continent to look for him, accompanied by two of Paul's former companions.